and I have again a nice little job to do for the local tram people. They asked me to do a little job on this beautiful machine here that we want to use to drill holes in rails. And this machine is very simple to use. Install it on the rail, close the clamp, and then behind here there is this hollow little drill bit that drills the hole. I laid the thing, of course, now on this side to show you these are the kind of drill bits we use for it, and they are hollow because here is the entrance of the coolant. So the coolant goes through and then of course cools the cutting action. And they brought me this because there is of course a little problem. To keep this machine in position on the rail while drilling with this clamp here, of course we have these blocks, and there are every time 2 blocks, and of course the drill bit comes in the middle here. But this block doesn't fit the rail, and we have a whole collection of other blocks here ready to go, but none of them fit the rail. So my job of today is of course to make 2 blocks that I already designed here in CAD that fit the rail. And of course, when mounted here, it has also to fit these 3 locating pins and the bolts. And the only piece of material I could find that I can maybe use to do so is this old bottom plate that used to be a part of the tailstock of the Celtic lathe. And this is a disaster. It's all rust and welded and shoulders, but we'll see what we can do. I had to cut my 2 pieces here in uneven length because of course after the second cut it didn't fit my vise very well. But whatever, let's and to give these 2 things the right shape, I will do it here on the shaper because it feels a bit like it's a long time ago that I used it. But first, a vise. My 2 washers here to hold my vise down, of course. They are a bit dome shaped because of too much use, I suppose. And now they are stuck on the bolts. So I will bring you back. This one is okay. I will bring you back when the other one is... I'm all set, and the first operation will be bringing these little blocks here to thickness, because this is 25 and I need 20, so let's start making ships, a lot of them. I don't really see the need to give it a magnificent surface finish with the shear tool. Because what they're gonna do, they're gonna mess it up in these rusty rails. So I think this finish, good enough. Right, let's do the other side. Two blocks left oversize, because what I would like to do is to bolt these two things here together so that I can work it as if it's one part. It's just that I have to be a little bit very careful if I use this one, original one, as a template. And I put my two blocks here. Of course, if I want to bolt them together, I don't want the bolt to interfere in these holes here. And I think the only useful place will be here between these two holes and these two holes. So precision could be a good idea here. And again, a machine without a vise. I think this will do the trick, and my holes lined out very well, because it's as if it is one surface, so that's good. Right, back to the milling machine and drill some more holes. Of course, this hole pattern. I installed one of the original blocks with my workpieces here, of course, in the vise, and I'm hoping that it will work as an anti-bozo system. It's not guaranteed, but let's go for it. Before I start drilling the bolt hole, it's maybe interesting to know how deep. Now this stick out is 9, let's say 10, and then the straight threads end here at 3. So if I drill 13 millimeter deep, that will work. All holes are drilled and I think it looks good. So I think it's time to do a test fit. See if it works. That should be something. Because after this I still have to cut this outer shape here. Of course I will leave the parts together. But it will give us an idea. That looks promising. It is a very tight fit, and I think it's between the bolt and this pin here. The other side here is okay-ish. First I thought maybe my dimensions are a little bit off, which is of course perfectly possible because after all I'm only human, you know. But no, I took it apart again and gave it a good cleanup. And the thread didn't work very well because there were a lot of chips from tapping in here. And after a good clean, as you can see, now it fits. Now that I know that it could work, let's give this thing the final shape. I draw outlines here on this surface and I will do it by eye because the rail is completely rusted, so precision, that won't be easy. I think it doesn't look too bad. Of course, the final touch I will give it on the belts but I think this is a very good start. Right, let's do the other side. The secret to have a very nice mirror finish on these parts is of course to use an old belt, a fine grit belt that is completely worn and that almost doesn't cut anymore. And this gives this very nice shiny workpieces. But for here it's not important, of course. The most important is that it fits. And it does. That's cute. I drill in the bolt. But not in this one. It's not really easy to do this sitting down, but I'm pretty sure you've got a point. Of course, before I end this video, I wanted to show you this thing in action, but it's not going to be possible because I'm running out of time and I have two little problems. Normally it's one problem, but here it's two. This black part here of the machine, I have to cut off a little piece because it is too long in relationship to the block I made. And of course I need to make the block on this position to be able to drill holes in the center of the rail. If I put the block lower, the hole will be too high in the rail, so that's not good. So cut off a piece of this machine, it will be. Second problem. This clamp here, there is an adjuster thing here. I will take it off. You can see better. It's a little bit a wedge shape. So if you change blocks here, you change the position to be able to clamp the way it should be clamped. But the wedge is too small, it doesn't work. So I need to make some kind of thickness plate that comes behind here, so it will be higher and then the clamp will work. So it will be in next video.